You are now tuned into the sounds of
Big Nate Sports Talk.
It's on all the time, anytime.
You are now tuned in to Big Nate Sports Talk, the show that is on all the time, anytime. And now, ladies and gentlemen, your host, Nathan Snell.
Yes, indeedy. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you're all doing well. Hope you're all staying safe. This is episode 463 of the podcast. This episode, it is week 1 of the NFL season, but more importantly, Washington Commanders football is back. It has been a minute. I've missed this along with Raven football. We'll talk about that in 464. No, 464. My gosh, I apologize. Before we get at this, few things I want to say up front. Maryland football recap. I'll have that out, if not tomorrow, Monday. We are wrapping up this week with the WNBA regular season. So we'll finish that up and then we'll get ready for the playoff preview. I'll have that up sometime this week as well. Recaps of this week. The Ravens play this evening as we're live at the moment. So they play the Buffalo Bills. The Washington Commanders play the New York Giants later today, this afternoon. So we'll talk about those recaps sometime tomorrow, Monday or Tuesday at the latest. Please continue to like, comment, and subscribe for all future content on the podcast. I appreciate the support you're giving me in the channel. It's much appreciated. Again, 2025. Last year, most of us know how the season ended for the Washington Commanders. It was it was tough and it was painful losing in the NFC Championship game. But I feel like this is a new year, but I think the bar is a little higher. I do think coming off the year before and a new regime, new everything, now there's more eyes on us, there's more attention. I'm just, from my perspective, I do have some questions how it will look. One thing that stuck on me about the schedule, we have the 8th hardest schedule this year. To me, we have 5 primetime games. So we have 7 national games. I think it was week 6 through 13. We have we have a bye week. I think it's week 12. I want to say, if I'm seeing that correctly. Biggest thing to me is I think the key is the last week of the season. That last month, honestly, December, Minnesota, New York, Philly, Dallas, and then obviously, you know how week 18 is always. I know hate's a strong word. I don't like, because they always try to pencil in, well, maybe 1:00 game or 4:30 game, try to fill all that stuff. So for me, one thing I do like about this schedule, it is a little balanced. One thing that does stand out is I didn't see an AFC North opponent, which was actually interesting this year. So I like that, but for the most part, they should win 10, 11 games at best. There are 3 night games. We do have 3 night games in 4 weeks, which is a little, that they'll be fine. Because I like the last time they had that was that 5 in 2013 and 2017. I remember seeing that correctly. But again, for me, they did fine last year in primetime games. They were 2-1, and they were 2-0 in the postseason. So for me, biggest thing for me looking at this season that stuck out was the run game. We traded Brian Robinson Jr. Prior to before the season started. I personally am not a fan of that because for me, two things that stick out. Are we comfortable outside of Austin Ekeler, who is now our number one running back? And Austin Ekeler has proven, when he was at the Chargers, a number one running back, no problem. But are we comfortable with Chris Rodriguez, Jeremy McNichols, and I like the rookie that they got, but are we comfortable with that behind him? Austin Ekeler has a history of not staying healthy. The best ability is availability. I have a feeling this was with Brian Robinson. I don't know if this was maybe they saw something. Again, this was a Ron Rivera pick. So I guess maybe they see it as, we didn't pick you. This is, we can easily move your contract. I don't know, but I personally not a fan of it because if we wanted to move him, we should have done it last year. That's just during this offseason. That's just my personal opinion. But I think for me, I think we should be okay. I do think the rookie Bill Krosky-Mermott will have. I think he'll have he'll have a large role as the season progresses. I think the preseason, from what I saw, he has a lot of promise. Even going back and look at college, I think in Kingsbury's offense, I think he will find a role for sure. If you look at Cliff's offense, you all know about spreading the ball, and it's not just to a rushing total, a receiver. But again, I'm just kind of figuring out how now you have Debo here and Austin. That's just going to be interesting to see how that will look at all at once. But because in his system, the only running back I think maybe close to 1,000 yards at one time, maybe it was Kenyon Drake, I want to say. That's the closest I can think. But and it's going to be interesting to see how the run game will look this year. Defensively, I think we'll be better. I will see Dorius Armstrong as my team He's my team defensive player of the year of the team, not the year of the team. I think he's my breakout player for the team. I think what I saw last year, and even the preseason, I think with Von Miller here, Jacob Miller, I really, really like what I see because he obviously is replacing Montez Sweat, obviously from after the trade. But if we can get him in double-digit sacks-ish, I could see that. But, I mean, he had 6 last year. I could see somewhere around the 8 to 9 sack region for sure. But I'm liking what I'm seeing from that. Other than that, Jaden will be fine. I have no concerns with that. Biggest thing is just everyone is staying healthy. That's just my concern. I'm not really too sure how the offense will look now with Terry and Devo. I think both will have their fair touches. So we'll see. But anywho, that's just really kind of how I look at the team as a whole overall. I think this team is pretty much, I don't have any really major flaws other than my biggest weakness was the run game, honestly. But we are playing the New York G-Men, and one thing that stuck out to me, obviously, when we're playing the G-Men, obviously it's NFC rival, and one thing I gotta really emphasize is they look a little bit better. They have the harder schedule. I feel bad for them. Absolutely, that's brutal. That's not fair. But we got to stop the run. We were one of the worst teams last year in stopping the run, and I think we were tied for the third highest last year in allowed rushes per yard and third rushing yards overall as a whole. We overhauled that, and hopefully we've addressed that issue, which I feel like we've done. But I mean, in fairness, the Giants last year were in the transition from Mr. Saquon Barkley, and I do think Mr. Tyrone Tracy, I think, has shown that he can be a number one running back. They do have Mr. Cam Skibo out there as well. Devin Singletary is still there, but I mean, he didn't with Tyrone. I mean, there's flashes, yes, but I do think we should see how containing those two will be key in the game. Biggest thing for me, clogging up the running lanes, really winning the battle of the trenches for me is the key. Because I believe Malik Neighbors will be. Let me see. Did they have the injury report? Let's look at the injury report. I know it's a little too. It's way too early to see, but no, it looks like Malik Neighbors is all good to go. Andrew Thomas is doubtful to play. As he's dealing with a foot injury. Let's see. Dorrance Armstrong, Nolan Brown, Matt Gay, Marcus Mariota, Jonathan Jones, all unspecified. Interesting. Okay. What was my next point? Russell Wilson should play, but excuse me. Russell Wilson should make this offense look a little bit better. I still think Russell Wilson brings he's still a starter in this league. I just think from how everything was last year, I think this will be good. I think this is good for him. I think a young team, he's past leader. I think he's a proven leader. I mean, you have Jameson Winston, Jackson Dart was there. I mean, last year when you have to work with Daniel Jones, who they cut, and then Drew Lock, then Tommy DeVito, again, the deep ball was not all there. So I'm really, really thinking that they will really, really be better with Russell Wilson. I think the Giants got a little bit better this year. I just have some questions in terms of now you just got to put it all together. I do feel bad for Brian Dabble because I feel like he shouldn't be on the hot seat like this. What's put out there, I mean, this is how Mr. Joe Schoen's doing. I mean, he had to 2022, 2023 picks. But I mean, those drafts didn't really pan out well. Let's just keep it real. But Evan Neal, for example, and man, I somewhere have on my notes here somewhere. I gotta find that. But he was highly touted. He was a top 10 pick. I think it was like 7th or 8th, and he just never panned it out well. So God bless him, but that was disappointing. But I think they're starting to put it together. But also, too, again, like I said, when you're a team that's trying to find its identity, and I think this might be the year for the Giants. Just got to put it all together and see what happens. But I think that their defense, I think, will be their identity. Dexter Lawrence and Brian Burns and Kayvon Thibodeau and Mr. Abdul Carter. Those are 4 guys that I will be watching for sure if I'm Jaden Daniels, because last year their run defense was not that great, and they definitely got better with their secondary. Mr. Deontay Banks, for Maryland Terrapin, but that's okay. Their defense, I think, will be pretty good. I might sound really I might take some flack for this, but I think the Giants defense might finish somewhere in the top 15-ish in terms of I think against the pass, but I think particularly against the run. I think there'll be a good run stopping defense for sure. But first, I really, really think their identity this year will be their defense. But if I was Washington and I'm game planning for New York, I got to make Russell Wilson. I got to make it one-dimensional. I got to take some. Obviously, you want to take Malik Neighbors out the game, but Theo Johnson, I think he's looking to have a good year. Wan'Dale Robinson. So, I mean, you're going to have to make it tough. Establish a run early. So that's the key. Keep their defense on the field as long as possible. Keep their offense off the field as much as possible. But just take it and generate turnovers. That's one thing I really would challenge us as a team to do. I think if we could do those things, I think we'd be okay. But other than that, man, I think the Washington Commanders, will get their first win today as we're live. And I think the final score as the Washington Commanders, will defeat the New York G-Men. I'm going to say 24-14.
Guaranteed.
So I think it's going to be a great game. And again, it's going to be week 1. I know it's going to be a little sluggish out there because, again, from preseason to week 1, it's always going to be that adjustment period, guys getting adjusted and different things like that. Debo coming off his injury. Terry, really, I think kind of getting back into the realm of things, even though he was, dealing with the contract stuff. But other than that, they should be okay. I'm ready for it. But other than that, that's it. So let me know your thoughts, how you feel about the game, and the other teams that you're looking forward to. Other than that, oh, by the way, Quentin Johnston, I had him on a fantasy team, 24 points, just sitting on the bench. And Mario Hampton just gave me 8. I'm sick. I can't believe that, but that's okay. But anyway, that's going to conclude the episode. Y'all let me know your thoughts on your team, how they're going to do this year. I'm going to talk about the Ravens in the next episode. We're probably going to do that a little bit later. But please like, comment, and subscribe for our future content. Thank you for the support. Thank you for those who joined on the live. Again, have a good night. Peace. Stay up.
Thank you for tuning in to Big Nate Sports Talk. If you enjoyed that episode, be sure to like, subscribe, and share Big Nate Sports Talk. It's on all the time, anytime.
And I want to thank you. All I want to do is say thank you.
I'm elevated, oh yeah. We was waiting, oh yeah. To make a statement, it's clear. The way them boys persevere. Yo, we taking the stairs. Don't let them get in our ear. They go watch, I'ma stare. Tell them pull up a chair. God gon' answer our prayers. Living now. They told me dreams come true once you live it out. I picked the pieces from my childhood in a broken house. And heal my soul from the trauma we've been giving out. I hear the whispers in the wind under smoky clouds. And tell myself once again, I'ma work it out. So much shit can happen, yo, it got me tripping now. Yeah, it's feeling different now.
I wonder if it's worth living now. They told me working 9 to 5 just to make it out. And now the dark nights got me needing mouth to mouth. Resuscitate my dreams, tell me what it's all about. I wonder if it's worth living now. They told me show a little skin just to make it out. They told me grind until I doubt, till I reach the clouds. Excuse me a little moment while I break out. Never let them take me out.